Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the new Heatran for the Great League. I actually got one from my first trade as well, which is pretty rare. It's kind of difficult to get this Pokemon, unlike the Giratina, it's a little bit of a lower chance. If you hear it right now already, like my voice nearly is dying, so it's most likely going to be my only video for today as well. I put actually some medicine on there as well for me to actually commentate this video a little bit here, but yeah, this is most likely going to be the only one for today because I'm just not capable of talking today. So yeah, we're going to have a team here that is not ideal at all. Again, it is Catch Cup. I saw some comments as well under my last video about how basically the team was triple weak twice last time around. And yeah, right now this team is also not ideal, especially against like ground type Pokemon. It's going to be a little bit tricky as our backline is double weak, but our lead is not really super effective against ground types either. And so here, first battle, we can actually align our Heatran against the Decidueye, and with this we're going to be able to win this game. Moving on, we're going to see now that the next opponent going to have Charger Bug in the lead, which is going to be kind of nice for us because we kind of hardwall it with the Giratina, but we can now swap out into our Heatran against the Arctibax. So you can completely hardwall Arctibax with our Heatran, which is kind of nice. Like the Ice-type move is going to be double resisted, the Dragon-type move is going to be single resisted, and so we can just farm them all the way down. We're going to see the Charger Bug coming in. And so I will be able to just go ahead and go for the Magma Storm, going to get a shield, and so we will see here that the opponent is going to have to deal now with our Giratina again. So it's going to be a great matchup for us. Discharge is coming through, but they're going to have a Frostess in the back, which can be a little bit tricky. I'm gonna go for the bait first. I don't know if it was smart or not. It was not smart because the opponent decided to let this move go through, which, yeah, I thought would actually still do a little bit more damage than actually did there at the end of the day. But we can still try to go for the full farm down with our Tentacruel, trying to get some nice, yeah, farm down here. Basically, let's see what we can still do here. The opponent goes for the Shadow Ball. I can go for a Scald, and with this, we're going to be able to hopefully get a debuff as well here. Yes, we do. And so we can try to go for a Scald. As the opponent goes for their Discharge now, this is going to not knock us out because we survive with like 1 HP, which is kind of wild. And so we can get the knockout here and we can get the win as well. Moving on, let's see what the next opponent going to have here. Azumarill on the lead is actually kind of neutral for the Giratina, which is kind of funny because you would imagine, okay, it's a Dragon-type Pokemon against a Fairy. Not as ideal, but honestly, Shadow Claw is chunking quite a bit, plus Shadow Ball is doing like half of the opponent's health. So basically, I think in the 2-shield scenario, you might actually have a chance of winning this one, but let's take a look at this. We can still go for the Shadow Ball. The opponent decides to use a shield here, which is smart by them. I can go for another Shadow Ball afterwards, and I might try to catch the next move if the opponent lets this move go through. They decided to let this move go through, and I tried to catch, did not work out, and we're gonna get out the Bronzong. A Pokemon that I don't really want to face here, but yeah, it would learn Payback, it would learn Psyshock, it would learn Bulldoze, which would actually kind of destroy our entire team, but let's see. I think they don't run Bulldoze nowadays anymore, so Heatran should be kind of safe. And so Heatran gonna go for the full farm down against the opponent. They're gonna go for the Payback still. Chunks quite a bit against our Great League Heatran, which is absolutely wild to see. But let's see what the opponent is going to do next. We're going to see that they're gonna go ahead and go into the Skarmory. For whatever reason, like, why do you do this? Like, your lead would have been so much better. You have an Azumarill, like, why? But I'm totally okay with that because we can just go for a charge move here again. This is going to get the shield from the opponent, and so we can even go for the full farm down. I don't know what they're trying to do here, but this is going to be great for us as one Omnious Wind is all it takes to knock out the opponent's Azumarill. And so this is going to be a good game. Next opponent. Wigglytuff in the lead, of course, a little bit annoying, but we have two good answers in the back. I decided to swap out into the Tentacruel, and we're gonna get out the Whiscash. This is kind of how this team is supposed to work, that we get out the ground-type Pokemon with the Tentacruel, as we can still at least go for some neutral Scald damage there. And we're also gonna get the attack drop, which is kind of important because now you can easily survive one Mud Bomb and force the opponent to throw another one. And this is going to make it a little bit easier as well for our Giratina to go for the full farm down, as we will see right now as well here. Farm down is going to happen. We're going to see that the opponent is going to go for a charge move here as well. It's going to be the Scald, and I can just go for the full farm down here. The opponent is swapping out now into the Wigglytuff. We have to hope that they're going to be weak against the Heatran in the back, and I can actually go for another charge move here against the opponent, forcing a shield most likely. And the opponent is going to go for their own charge move. I'm still going to use a shield because, like, yeah, they're going to be both double resisted, but I kind of want to keep my health. And they're going to have a Dugong in the back, so most likely would have been better to no shield though. But let's see here. I can go for the Stone Edge, and they're going to let this move go through, which is going to do a ton of damage. Like, remember, we are debuffed at this point, and so, yeah, like, this is still going to do a chunk of damage here. And we're going to be able to go for another charge move here. The Magma Storm is coming through, going to do some really good damage against the opponent. And so it's only going to be the Wiggly Tough against the Heatran. They still have a shield left, but also we still have a Shadow Ball stored on our Giratina. And this means that we should be in a really decent spot here. We will see that we can go for even another Magma Storm. And so this is going to be a very good game here. Good game to the opponent. Next opponent coming through, we're going to have a Charger Bug in the lead. This is going to be okay, but the opponent swaps out now into the Poliwrath. I can go for a Shadow Ball, and then I can swap out into my own Tentacruel. It's actually not as ideal because the opponent is... Oh, never mind, they let the move go through. If they let the move go through, it's actually kind of ideal for us. Ice Wind coming through doesn't really do anything. We can go for the full farm down, and so the opponent can still reach out for another charge move, but we can still reach a Scald later on against the opponent's Charger Bug. Most likely even 2 Scalds if the opponent doesn't want to throw. Let's see here. Maybe we get a debuff. Debuff would be really nice for us as well. As we're gonna see here, we don't get the debuff, but we can still at least reach the Acid Spray, which might force a shield. Let's see. It does not, which does make sense. But we still have 2 Pokemon that can deal with it. And at this point, I was like, okay, that's going to be a little bit awkward. I can go for an Omnious Wind against the opponent's Dragon-type Pokemon here. But as you're gonna see here, the opponent is going to still have a great advantage against our Heatran as... yeah, like Dragon Breath is actually doing a lot of damage because we are not really the bulkiest Pokemon, and we only have resisted charge move and fast move damage here basically. I'm not gonna go for the Stone Edge because it just takes too long to get to. This would allow the opponent to basically go for like another awkward tail before, so yeah, I'm forced to go for the Magma Storm. Hope that this is going to be enough to knock them out. Let's see if it is going to be enough. It is not by a 1 HP. If we got this knockout here, I think we would have been fine, but sadly we are not going to be able to do so, and so the opponent has still a move stored onto their Charger Bug, and this is going to be it for this game. Good game to the opponent. Kinda unfortunate with the 1 HP survive there. Again, I'm sorry for my voice, like I cannot read you anything about it again, like I'm sick since like Saturday, and it's just really annoying, especially in this week. We had a lot of things planned. But yeah, it's always annoying to be sick, but this is definitely the longest I've ever been sick since I started doing YouTube. But yeah, like this is like the awkward thing as well, being a YouTuber or whatever next to the university for me. Yeah, like nobody is gonna do my work, so like I'm still going to have to do this kind of stuff here, even though I would rather sit in bed, and I'm gonna go back to bed after this one as well. But yeah, we still kind of want to take a look at the Heatran today, if I was that lucky and got one immediately. But yeah, we're gonna be able to go for the full farm down here. We got a debuff sadly from the Scald, which is going to make this a little bit of an awkward one, as we will see that the opponent can go for a charge move. It's going to be just the Aerial Ace. I was hoping that they would not go straight away and I could just catch a move of the Ice Beam onto my Heatran, but now I'm forced to go for another charge move. I can swap out into my Heatran and just have to hope that we have something in the back that we can deal with. They're usually running Aerial Ace and Ice Beam, which is going to be great for me, as this is going to be both resisted, and we're gonna see a Crocalor in the back. And this is going to be actually kind of okay for us, because as long as you're going to get the bait correctly here, we should be in a kind of decent spot. We can go for the bait first. It's going to be the Magma Storm. It is going to get the shield, and so I can reach my Stone Edge, get the knockout before the Incinerate damage is coming through. And now it depends if we can still knock out the Mantine. It's going to be a very close one here, and we can't, as the opponent actually can wing attack down my Steel type. Yeah, like Heatran is definitely not as crazy strong in the Great League as, for example, the Giratina, which I really enjoyed last time as well, and I think it's going to be one of the coolest Pokemon to play. But yeah, definitely still a Pokemon that I like to have, and I think I'm going to definitely make another team around this Pokemon as soon as we're going to have the open Great League back again, and I can actually build some normal teams around it, because it's going to be the hardest answer basically for the Skarmory, which is really cool. Double resisting the fast move, single resisting the charge moves while doing super effective damage is kind of rare, and so definitely something that I like to showcase as well eventually. Here we're going to have a Dugong. This is going to be a very tough battle for me in general. I think at this point I'm forced to use a shield here because of the potential of Drill Run, and they do go for the Drill Run, but they actually have a Togekiss in the back, and this is going to be great because now you're going to see the amount of damage that the Heatran can deal against opponents here. We're going to still have like 2 shields out the opponent's side, but we can go for one more charge move here, getting rid of the final shield now, and we can even reach another Magma Storm in time. even before they go for their own charge move. And so this is going to get the knockout now, but that's not all. We can also still outspeed the opponent's Dugong, and so they decide to forfeit. Let's move on to the next opponent. Second to last one for today, we're going to have the Whiscash in the lead. And as you're gonna see here as well, I can let the move go through. It's going to be the Mud Bomb, which is going to do not really a lot of damage. I have a lot of energy, which is kind of nice here. And we're gonna get out the Dub Wall. Dub Wall can run either the Payback or the Wild Charge, both of which are going to be a little bit tricky now as well if they go for it straight away. And they decide to go for the Wild Charge, which is really tricky. So I'm forced to go into my Heatran now, try to go for the full farm down because they're double debuffed. But of course they can still go for easily another Wild Charge, so I'm forced to use a shield here as well, as Wild Charge would nearly knock me out. But I kind of need to get the energy here, and so yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a trickier one. We're going to see the Whiscash coming back in. I can go for another Magma Storm. This is going to be able to get a little bit of damage here. I can go for the bait with my Giratina, but we have to hope that we can find something in the back that we can deal with our Giratina as well. It is going to be the Charger Bug, which is one of the best matchup for Giratina actually, which is kind of cool. But yeah, we're going to see as well that our health is just sadly a little bit too low, so we're forced to use our shield here. We can go for the full farm down, which is kind of nice. But yeah, like we have to go straight for the charge move. This is going to be a CMP tie as the opponent didn't get a fast move through. And so we're going to get the shield, but it's now down to Heatran. Can one Stone Edge knock out a Whiscash from this range? We are squishy, so we do a ton of damage, but let's see if it's going to be enough. The Fire Spin damage definitely adding up here as well. Let's see, is it going to be enough? It is not, and so sadly, Heatran is going to go down. Very close though, definitely something interesting. So let's move on to the final one for today. Again, if you enjoyed this video, would really appreciate if you subscribe and like the video, of course. Like, yeah, I wish I had my normal voice back currently, but it is what it is. So this was actually, I think, my favorite game out of them all today. I think it was this one at least. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to see here the Whiscash against us with a Mud Bomb. I can still try to go for a shield here, most likely. Well, actually, let this move go through. It's going to be okay for us. We kind of need to keep our Giratina against the Whiscash, which is like the most important thing, as Whiscash is going to be a pain for our backline. But we're going to get rid of this right now. But of course, Annihilate would be also something that we need Giratina for. And they decide to swap out into the Dugong. And I don't get to move here. And also, I don't have a great answer for Dugong either, because we have a double weakness to ground in the back and they have Drill Run. So, my only play is to get the shield here and no shield, hoping that they go for the bait. If they don't go for the bait, this is going to be game over, but they decide to go for the bait and they swap out back into the Annihilate, which is going to be amazing, as now I can use my own shield. I have to go for my own shield, basically. It's going to be the Shadow Ball. I can overfarm by a little bit and go for a Scald now, which should hopefully knock them out here. Let's see if this is going to be actually enough. It is going to be enough, and so we will see that we can go for the Acid Spray, hopefully still, but the opponent goes for the Drill Run first. They should be out of energy with that, and I can still reach the Acid Spray with 1 HP left, which is absolutely wild. And so now the Heatran is going to be able to still reach the Magma Storm to win this game. And I hope you enjoyed this video now. Again, if you want to see the Giratina showcase from yesterday, it's going to be on the screen right now. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.